Yo, what's good? Happy Friday to everybody. I know I got the members only mode on. For a second, I'm going to put that on subscribers only, because this is supposed to be a members only stream. Let's talk business. Tomorrow is We Got a Weed Problem. Alright, there will be the stream tomorrow night called We Got a Weed Problem. Because niggas, we got a weed problem. You know what I'm saying? Eloquently petty, articulate ass holery. This is the Keep It 100 channel. Uppity Negro swag on a Friday night. Alright. So tonight, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about business. Alright, business. You know, a lot of people don't understand business. We ain't gonna talk about politics at all. We'll talk about business. You know, I'm about to put the subscribers mode only because I know some of you got questions, but eventually this is gonna become a members only, because I have not been giving my members exclusive shit, and I owe them exclusive shit. So I'm gonna start this out as a sub only. We're gonna continue. We're gonna make it a members. Alright, so here we go. What's going on, D-Rock? So right now, subs only. So you are a subscriber, you can speak. Mr. Phillips, I see you. What's going on? Jump on in here, people. Hit me with that like. I only got 4 likes. 18 motherfuckers in here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that. Let me get that. Let me get that. Let me get that. Is it Mr. Steal Your Girl? But steal an orange girl. I can't steal anyone not open to be taken. God says, I'm broke, nigga. Yeah, man. Trying to get some more members so we can have these exclusive members only discussions. I'll be throwing these members only videos and it'd be like 5 motherfuckers in here. So if you are not a subscriber, subscribe. If you are not a subscriber already, subscribe. If you do not get the notifications, make sure you hit the bell. I'm saying all of, YouTube plug shit tonight. That's what everybody else is. Hard to do. But we're gonna talk business. Motherfuckers think business is the streets. Motherfuckers think business go by code in the streets. Yo, son, you ain't supposed to do that, son. That's violation, son. So business is business. Business is different. Hey, man, look, take your time to come to business, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just that there's a lot of things that I want to say to a select group of people that I do not want to say to the world. Matter of fact, the Patreon is set up. I'd rather do it over there. Be actually factual. My man said, you are an op if we don't agree with you, fam. You're an op. Because that's where we at nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I like strawberries. You like strawberries? Did you know that the strawberries picked by African slaves. You support slavery. You are an op. Black people pick those strawberries. Black hands. Anything you don't agree with, you are an op. You're the ops. Like, yo, but I donate. I donate to all the black causes. I don't give a fuck. You said some shit that you hurt the ancestors' feelings. The ancestors. What the fuck is this? Black Panther? Y'all got y'all all white dashiki on? You know what I'm saying? This is Black Panther. Let me give you some news, man. We here today, right? Respect to the ancestors, absolutely. But this is 2022, and we got to do 2022 shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to do 2022 shit. We are in the future. Okay? So we're going to talk business today, because it seems like people don't understand business and how business works. And I want this to, I want people to ask questions. I want this to be a Q&A. If you want to jump in here, Shane, if you want to jump in here, you know what I'm saying? Shane, I promise to let you speak. Shane has this unfortunate circumstance. He jumps in here and he never gets a word in edgewise. Shout out to D-Rock for, thank you. I appreciate it. I worked very hard on that intro. Worked very hard. Took me 6 months. Now I'm fucking with you. I'm gonna try not to curse so much. Just keep getting demonetized. The revolutionary will not be monetized, man. The revolutionary will be demonetized. Okay. Did a stream yesterday with Mr. Green Gorilla. We said some things. Mr. O with the info. Salute to you. Shout out to you. But, I don't know what Mr. Alonzo is doing. I'm drag him in here at some point. I want business-minded businessmen to jump in here, right? Recently, I got hit up by distributors. I haven't, I'm a magazine publisher. People know me, Body Magazine. That's where all this, the man whore reputation comes from, because I'm surrounded by women for a long fucking time, right? Business is women. And, I was just on the phone with one of my distributors yesterday, and we were talking about how the game going. We were talking about, guys who are not in the magazine game no more. A couple of them have passed on. I'm not going to say any names. Okay. Just understand, in the business that we're in, it's real competitive. There's a lot of hate for each other, a lot of hate for the ops, the competition and shit like that. Shout out to Maul, I see you. And I don't know how many of you guys are businessmen or aspiring businessmen or anything like that. Mr. O says, I told you I'm getting into the photography, videography field too. We're going to talk about some of that tonight. We're going to talk about some of that, right? Like I said, there's a lot of things that I want to get into deeply that, like, on the member side, I can keep these videos unlisted. I can say names. I can say a lot of shit, because I don't need public shit, escaping. Well, my point is this, right? So, and this is slightly Kanye. This is kind of coming off the conversation of Ye and his associations with Adidas or Nike or any of that stuff, because you got a lot of people on social media to be talking a lot of shit they don't know. The funny thing is, a lot of people on social media speaking their mind, right? They're speaking their mind on social media, but they forget they're on a website that is owned by some people. You understand what I'm saying? They're speaking their mind on a website. They're keeping in contact with their people and with their friends, and they're promoting what they're doing. And every once in a while, when they say something that's out of turn, they get spanked. I've been spanked before, on FB. I've, numerous times I get 30-day bans, 15-day bans, 2-day bans. We all go to Facebook jail for saying some shit out of turn. We get canceled, and our cancellations, go from 24 hours to 30 days. Those are cancellations. Those are the regular motherfucker. See, I done cursed again. The regular man cancellations for saying the wrong thing on the internet. Okay? 30-day bans. This is why I'm on YouTube. And I'm not saying that YouTube is a platform that doesn't cancel, because they cancel too. But just understand that these same people that are saying whatever they're saying about celebrities, they got to watch their mouth, just like I do on Facebook, because Facebook will cancel you for a specific period of time, or they'll just take your page. It's the same idea. In order for you to function, to participate in Facebook, right? In order for you to participate in the conversation with all these people, you have to get on these people's platform to do it. You have to log in. You got to give them your information, right? There's very few of us don't have a Facebook account, right? So when people say, hey, yeah, you can do it on your own, just realize there's a lot of shit you're not doing on your own. We're all tied into this matrix. No man is an island. We're all tied into this matrix. Shout out to you, brother. Yes, sir. Likes up. Got 30 people in here. Let me see how many likes this is right now. 18 for 32. I'm gonna need 32 for 32. If you haven't clicked like yet, please do me the favor. Hitting that like button. That's all I need from you guys tonight. If you decide to join the channel, that's cool. Whenever you choose to do so, right? I'm gonna save most of my most egregious talk for the member section. Understand, none of us are doing it by ourselves. In order for us to function and to communicate right now, I am on StreamYard through YouTube. I am on a platform talking to y'all. This is not a platform that I created. And in order for me to exist on here, there's certain shit that I can't say. Right? So as much as we wave the flag for our celebrities to be free, or to, don't apologize, say this, say that, we have to also recognize that we too are functioning through platforms that do not belong to us. Right? For those who are from New York, I don't know how many of you guys, I say Body Magazine. There's a lot of guys that have never heard of Body Magazine. A lot of guys in New York, they know what Body Magazine is. There's a lot of people on the internet that have seen me, post, or they might here or there have come across Body Magazine. Body Magazine is a magazine that I've been putting out since 2009. 2009, first issue of Body Magazine. Right? All over the city. Exactly. My man says he used to see it in the subway. Yeah, you might see it in the subway again, because they on my head to put out another one. Understand that I am Body Magazine. Okay, Marcus Aurelius, any of these photographers, John Blasingame from Black Men's Magazine, like a lot of the guys, they know me. Like, so you guys know me as Mr. Blue, Mr. Red Pill, Black Pill, guy on the internet. But understand, I am Marcus Aurelius. I am the CEO, publisher of Candy Girl's Body Magazine. So if you've seen that, if you got one in your house, whatever, that is who you are listening to speak. Okay? That is me. Understand this. From the very beginning, right, of that situation, because I'm going to talk about my situation first, and then I'm gonna talk about. I want people to understand how business runs. Okay, I am the guy that took the pictures, edited the pictures, laid out the pages. All right, put the shit to print. You send the shit to the printer, wherever is it, whether it's local or overseas, wherever. You get the magazine printed, they send you the proof, you flip through it. Me and my guys would sit in the office. And for those who rocked with me, office 303 West 42nd Street, 42nd Street, 8th Avenue, right over the Show World. Now, if you're from New York, you know where Show World is, right across the street from Port Authority. That's where we was, on the 4th floor, room 400. Okay? Started that shit from nothing. Okay? 303 West 42nd Street. I don't even know if that building is there anymore. They about to demolish that shit. Just understand, and shout out to my man Todd. Shout out to a few people on that, man. There's so much shit I could tell y'all that went down on the Deuce, but that ain't what we doing tonight. Understand this. Yeah, you probably got the there was a security class in the building, actually. Because I had got a security license in that same building way before I did the magazine. So I was across the street from Chevy's. So understand this, right? You do all of these things. You get it printed, et cetera, et cetera. Then you got to go to newsstand, right? Understand that when you come into this game, the game already exists. It exists before you. There's already a system in place. You can't just come and just reinvent shit. That's not how it works. Right? So there's a place that's going to print your magazine, unless you're going to go get a printer. And a printer ain't something you can fit in your house. Like, we talking about an offset printer. If you guys have ever done flyers or anything like that, understand an offset printer is bigger than your house. It's bigger than your whole house. You can't just go buy an offset printer, cutter, any of that shit. This is stuff you need a commercial space for. You need a airport hangar space for an offset printer. Okay, your 5,000 flyers for your party and shit like this. Offset printers are humongous. They're bigger than fucking trucks. Okay, understand this. So you design your shit. You go to one of these companies to print your magazine. These are the people who own the printers. They're going to get some money from you. Once your magazine is printed and cut or whatever, now you got a choice to make. You can sit in your house and look at your magazine boxes and in awe and you know, or you can sell them. And there's a system for that called newsstand. Understand, newsstands all over New York City are owned by a certain group of people who, if you want to be in the magazine business, you got to deal with these people. You can't reinvent that. You can't say, well, I'm not going to go through them. I'm going to do this myself and this and that, yada, yada. I'm going to just, nah, you ain't going to just nothing. Either you're going to deal with these people or you're not going to exist. Okay, so these people, no matter where they, you know, they may be from, Pakistan or, you know, Middle Eastern people, or, you know, for the most part, the guys who own the physical newsstands, Muslim guys, Islamic, whatever. They're from that part of the world. And here you come, you're a black guy. No, don't nobody know you. You got a magazine that they never heard of. And they ain't gotta rock with you. They don't gotta rock with you. Yeah, Bangladesh, whatever. But most of them, see, Bangladesh is that's Indian. Most of them are not Indians. A lot of them are they're like, for lack of a better word, Arabs or you know, they're Islamic guys, right? So these are the guys you're going to sell your magazine to. But understand this, you don't just walk up to a newsstand and say, hey, I got this magazine here. How much do you want? This, that, and the third. No, you got to go to their people. They're going to tell you straight up, nah, you can't rock. We can't rock with you direct because it's a guy that sells to us. You got to sell to him in order to sell to us. So they don't cut their people out. You got to go to the guy who's going to buy what we would call weight on the streets in order for them to cop from him. You got to sell it to him, then he sell it to them. And that's how it works. And you could be on your black shit like, yo, I ain't about to do all of that. Yeah, you are, or you're not going to exist. And I say that to say it's just like Ye with his sneaker situation. Everybody said, well, he could have did it himself. No, there's a system. There's a system. Me and a guy, we was talking yesterday. One of the wholesalers in the magazine game, right? One of the wholesalers. And we just had this conversation yesterday. He said, what a lot of these guys don't understand. Business ain't personal. These guys are not our friends. The newsstand guys, the wholesale guys, none of these guys. They're not your friends. If you got a hot product, they could hate you. They could hate your guts. They could not like your face, not like the color of your face. But if your shit is selling, they gotta buy it. They gotta buy it. It's not personal. It takes a whole lot. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'll give you a scenario. I got into an issue with one of my wholesalers. We got into an issue over some money. And when it comes to collecting money, I'm Suge Knight. Okay? I'm Suge Knight if you owe me some money. Especially in business. I paid this much to get this product. I give it to you. You owe me some money. I'm coming to get that bread. I show up. He gives me a speech. I say, yo, man, I'm not leaving this building without that paper. Like, straight up. And I got the paper. He was upset. And he told me, I'm never doing business with you again. I ain't doing business. I don't like this. I ain't never doing business with you again. You know what he did? Called his man up. And his man started making orders on his behalf. He didn't call me. His man called me. I could say their names, but I ain't going to say their names. His man called me. Hey, Mark, we need 500 pieces. Okay. And I'm like, since when do you buy from me? Right? So this continued for months until I just came out and said, hey, man, this is for homie, ain't it? He's like, yeah, it is. Because the more we dealt with each other, he would call me and then call me back and then call me back. And every time he called me back, he would say things that sounded like the other guy. And that's when I was like, okay, I know what this is. And I say that to say there was no amount of upset that this man could be at me because his customer is asking for the product. Okay. Adidas is going to be hurting for Kanye's business in a little while. But let me get back to my point. Understand, me and my man that we was on the phone yesterday, we know, two black guys, we know, what's up, Lucy? I see you. We know that these people do not like us. We know it. We know it. We know that they don't like us. But at the end of the day, they got to rock with it. They got to rock with it. Okay? So, right, exactly. Who buys Adidas? Understand, right? Body Magazine. It ain't as big a name as King Magazine. Right? But yo, My man, I've sold over 100,000 magazines over the years, 100,000 pieces, and I still got boxes. I'm not no digital mag, none of that. Real magazine on the stands. You understand? And understand the business that is publishing, the business that is newsstand, the business, it's not a black business. It's not a black business. Whether the big magazines, the distributors, the wholesalers, and the people that own the newsstands and the stores. If you're from New York, you know those stores in Manhattan. You walk in there, ain't nothing but magazines from floor to ceiling. Understand, the thing I liked about the magazine game, and especially self-publishing, because I did everything from top to bottom. I'm in the truck. I'm in the U-Haul driving boxes of magazines around, pallets of magazines. Understand, like, if you're somebody like Ye and you're moving millions of units, you can't do that yourself. You can't do that yourself. If I'm moving millions of magazines, that means I would have to have warehouses, trucks, people on the payroll, corporate building, corporate office, all of these things. When you're doing it on that level, you don't do it by yourself. You got to cut somebody in. Yeah, my man said 14th Street, Union Square, those stores all around. Yeah, I know who serves all those stores. When I walk into these stores with magazines in them, I see a different thing that the average person might walk in and see. Because I know the distributor and the warehouses that are connected to each one of these places. I know who belongs to which demographic or which religious group or which this or that, moving magazines through the city. And you deal with all of those people, including those people Ye's talking about. And they all crooks. They're all crooks, bro. All of them. And you got to move. Let me tell you, business is gangster. Business is gangster. I want people to understand this, man. There's no friends. Nobody's there to say, oh, hey, man, we're going to do square business and it's going to be fair and you're going to get paid. And I see people in the music business and all these other businesses understand business is gangster. I don't care what you're selling. People think, oh, the drug business is gangster. No, I don't care what business you're in. All business. I remember this. I'm quoting someone who told me this in I think it was either 1999 or 2000. He said, all business is gangster. And I carried that with me to today. All business is gangster. Nobody's your friend in business. It's all gangster. If somebody ain't got to pay you, they won't pay you. They will take what you give them for free if they can. If you are not gangster about your paper, you will not make it in business. You will not make it in business. I do not take people to court. And people in the magazine game, like, they know me as that guy. Like, I will pull up. I will pull up to your warehouse. I will pull up to your office. I will pull up if you owe me bread. I got too many stories. I ain't get the PayPal. Let me turn this down. My man hit me with, I see you, Kyle. Life is gangster, definitely. But business is gangster. Business is definitely gangster. You know what I'm saying? You owe me some bread for a product that, understand, I made from scratch. Every step of the way, from the content in it to the pages is on, all of that. And I moved it. You didn't come get it from me. I brought it to you. And you want to hesitate to pay? Again, gangster. Gangster. Gangster shit. From the newsstand people, all of that. Nobody's your friend. So understand this. Who the person that's in control is always the most valuable person in the interaction. In other words, if you got a hot product, these people are always looking for hot products to sell. You got a newsstand, your newsstand ain't shit without shit to sell. It's not shit without shit to sell. I've gone through, like Kanye going through what he went through with Nike, trying to get his shits out there and shit like that. I remember no newsstand will fuck with my magazine, bro. I remember in the very, very, very beginning, none of these newsstands, the girls ain't want to shoot for it. The newsstands ain't want to pick it up. How you turn down a magazine with bikini models in it? That, you know what I'm saying? How you turn that down? But they turned it down. He's like, we don't know you. Until you got to force some things to happen. And through grinding it out, mind you, I had to go through the system. I had to go through the system. Met up with a guy, I was introduced to a guy in Brooklyn who had distribution for newsstands. They know him. Shout out to Aaron Peters. Shout out to all my members, man. Because it's going to be a more in-depth discussion with my members. Check this out. Shout out to my man, Old Joe. So link with Old Joe in Brooklyn. The Arabs, the Pakistanis, the newsstand guys, they know Joe. They don't know me. They don't know me. He's in the system. So now I got to go through Joe. There's two Joes. I got to go through Black Joe and I got to go through the other Joe. I say the other Joe because the other Joe belongs to the group of people that Ye is talking about. Now I can say, hey, I'm going to do this myself, but it won't happen. You got to go through these people because I got the product, but nobody want it because it's not in the system. So these people takes the product from me, push it through the stands. It does what it does. And from 09, 2010, 2011, now I'm popping. Now I'm popping. You know how it works on the street, fellas. You give them a couple of samples. They get addicted. Now you popping. Now, mind you, I didn't give this shit away for free, but you know what consignment is. But you got to go through the system. You don't get Foot Locker. You don't get Foot Action. You don't get none of these places that sell sneakers just walking in and say, hey, my name is Ye. I got this sneaker called the Yeezy, whatever. That's not how it works. You got to go through the system. These people are not your friends, but you got to rock with them. Shout out to Micah. I see you. You got to go through the system. Everybody got to eat, right? So then it gets to the point where once your shit is hot, now the tables turn. Now you want the mag, cash up front. Minimum order. Minimum order. Minimum order, cash up front. No more consignment. Consignment is dead. So now it gets to a point where a lot of people these newsstand guys, different guys are calling me. They start cutting a middleman. Hey, man, because the numbers in the magazine. Hey, is this Marcus? Yeah, my name is such and such. Yeah, the Body Magazine. And I'm like, oh, word? They start cutting a middleman. So Lucy says a lot of logistics. Understand. So let's talk about logistics for a second. Shout out to Lucy for that comment. So Lucy talks about logistics. Understand this, right? And logistics is exactly what it is. You know how Jada say when his boat come in, they got to use the scale at the way the whales with? Well, when my pallets came in, that's exactly what it was. We had to go pick it up. We had to get a truck. I own a truck now, but I didn't own a truck then. Right? Shout out to you. Right. I'm trying to make people understand business. Right? Got to go pick up my pallet. I got to sign for it. Bill of lading, all of that stuff. I took pictures of my pallets because there was too many dudes out here fronting like they was publishing magazines, tricking the girls into shooting with them. Yeah, we such and such magazine. I'm like, these niggas is phonies. I work too hard for y'all niggas to just come and say y'all are magazine publishers. And y'all messing up the game for me. At the end of the day, drive the truck down to Jersey Port to pick up the pallet. Had to break it down because if I had a big truck, I could just roll a pallet in there. But nah, we had a U-Haul. It wasn't high enough for you to do that. For people who ever been to a truck dock, y'all know what I'm saying. So we had to cut the pallet, and the guy had to pass me the boxes one by one. We talking about thousands of magazines, bro. Thousands of magazines. We had to cut the pallet and each magazine. Before I did that, the first time I printed, the truck came to the building. It came to 42nd. And there was no freight elevator in the show world building. We had to do the same thing. We had to cut that. We had to cut that. Hold on. What happened? Yeah, we had to cut open the the pallet and hand truck it up. 5 boxes or 6 boxes at a time. And magazine boxes are not light. Okay? Again, this is me doing it myself, doing the mail order and this and that. But at the same time, still got to get it out there. Newsstand is a system. Even prison is a system. Prison is a system. The guys inside, they want the magazine. The guys on the street, they want the magazine. Then you got your mail order. You don't do this alone. You probably do a lot of work alone, but you don't do this alone. You got to cut somebody in. There's a system. I can't build a newsstand next to the newsstand. You know what I'm saying? Billions get billions. You got to have access to billions to get billions. So somebody's billions has to invest into you to lift you up to that point. Don't be fooled into thinking that these people do this stuff by themselves. A Microsoft, an Apple, all of these companies, they didn't just start out. They started out the crib, but then somebody at some point comes along and says, hey, man, investment capital. We got investors, even these YouTubes and Facebooks. Somebody at some point comes along and say, hey, man, we either going to buy you out or for such and such percent of your shit, we going to give you this amount so that you can move your shit to the next level. Nobody does it alone. You don't get that size alone. Unfortunately, in our community, that does not exist. That money, that investment, that no motherfuckers ain't sitting in the hood saying, hey, you know what? Little homie is over there trying to build an app for the iPhone. So we going to give him $500 million so that he can do that. It doesn't exist. So when people say, why are you going to them? You don't need them. You do need them. Or you're going to have suede t-shirts. You're going to have car canal. You're going to have cross colors. You do need them. Sadly for us, the old money ain't there. The oil money ain't there. The cotton plantation money ain't there. All the money that they got from a time when they could get that money from whatever illicit, illegal shit they was doing while we were the capital that was making it happen, it ain't there. So you got to rock with these people. Unless you want to be proud and small. If you get to the 500 million, $1 billion mark, you have to deal with them people. That's business. They ain't got to be your friends. They ain't got to be your family. They ain't got to be none of that. But unfortunately, yeah, we have quote unquote spending power. But where are our investors? The people who can invest and turn a black-owned business into Fortune 500. We don't have it. So when he walks into Skechers trying to get his sneakers into Skechers, understand Skechers has outlets. They have standalone outlets that people can go if they want Yeezys. They can line up down the block, around the corner, and buy Yeezys, whatever new shit he puts out. Gotta find retail. Wholesale and retail is a real thing. It's a physical thing. It's a logistical. Like Lucy said, logistical. That is a logistical thing. So when you're selling a physical product, you manufacture your product. You warehouse your product. That product has to go to retail. Retail is where people are already shopping. Your Walmart, your Target, your Foot Action, your Foot Locker. Places that have marketed themselves to sell these products that every day people are walking into them and buying stuff. If you want to turn around a profit, this is where your stuff has to exist. It has to exist in these, what they call big box, big ticket, big whatever, TJ Maxx, all of these places that we know about. That's why a lot of these black brands, they go crazy trying to get their product into these places because they have the traffic. They have the people walking in there shopping. These are not places that are owned by us. Now, yeah, you can open your own shit. Yeah, right. But then you have to match the marketing of a Walmart. You have to match the marketing of a Target. Billions get billions. Kanye, $400 million is not competing with billions. It's not. Billions gets billions. These are brands that were built over decades and decades, and some for centuries, over 100 years. That's what you're competing with as black business people. These people are not your friends. They don't like you. They might be looking to rob you. But I want black people to understand, especially whether you're creative, even in the music business, where those same people are, and people say, oh, I got robbed. Well, they offer you a contract. Now, you're not in the position to turn down the deal if you're at a financial disadvantage. The person in the power position will always take advantage of power. They're not there to do square, fair business with you. There's no such thing as fair. Get that out of here. There's no such thing as fair. I'm the man with the money. You're not. That's just what it is. Cold game. This is my bread. You know how to sing. You know how to dance. You know how to rap. You know how to throw a football. That's cool. He can do it too. over here. That guy over there. So I'm going to offer you a deal. If you don't want it, you want to be funny about it. Oh, well, you know, I want ownership. All right, that sounds cool. Hey, you, partner, come here. Holla at me. What you want to do? I'm ready to sign right now. Boom, you on. See you later, Playboy. I'm the man with the money. I've had people come to me. I've published other people's magazines. People come to me, yo, I want the deal to be like this, 60-40 or 40. No, you're not going to tell me what the deal is. I'm the man with the money. I'm the man who, if you design, you shoot your magazine, you design it, you give it to me. I'm the guy that's going to get it printed, get it on the stand, get it sold. Because I had to learn that by myself. Nobody told me, hey, man, this is how. Nobody. I had to feet to asphalt, feet to concrete, find that shit out by myself. And now that I know it, you come to me, this is how it go. Understand, I'm the man with the money. You don't negotiate. I tell you what it is. Now, Master P and them, Cash Money and them, the record label needed them. They was already getting bread. By the time they come to them, hey, we good already. What are you offering? Oh, it ain't right. We good. We gonna keep selling out the trunk. Me and my guys in the truck, driving all over New York City with boxes of magazines. Shout out to Artie from Sweets Magazine. Y'all heard of Sweets Magazine? Feds, Sweets. Y'all know what it is. That's my guy. Shout out to him. Small business, we all know each other. My man used to drive all over the city, just like me, in his SUV, filled with magazines, going to see the Arabs. Understand, nothing's fair. I hear people complain about, you know, Puff Daddy and this and that. You sign a contract. Music been the same thing. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones that's going to put you in the studio, this and that. They're going to press up the CD. They're going to put it out there. Your shit may sell. It may not sell. Who knows? Who knows? They the ones taking the chance. They spending millions on you. You ain't coming with no bread. You're not a partner. You're not a partner. Like I said, Cash Money, No Limit. They were already investing, pressing up their own shit. That's a different conversation. You're an artist. You're just bringing talent. You don't like the contract? That guy over there can sing. What's your name, Playboy? Yeah, we're going to sign you instead. So it's rare for any rising, struggling entrepreneur to be in a position to not take the first deal proposed to them, or even know in business you don't always take the first deal given to you. If you are in the position, remember, power, because it's about power. Everything is power. Everything is power. For those who've never read the 48 Laws of Power, you need to read that book. I'm a student of Robert Greene. Everything is power. You get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. So understand this. I was in a position in the beginning to print my own product, manufacture my own product. You got guys who can't even do that. Now I'm in a position where if I create something and say, hey, I got it. I got it. Hey, let me get it. How much? But you have to create that. And Kanye has built a brand. You got to build a brand. It's hard. It's very hard to do. And it takes time. It takes time because it got to get out there. People got to you're going to be in a position where at first, again, consignment, got to give it to them. You need them. They have the trucks, the newsstands, the warehouses, they have retail. All of those things you don't got. If you're a billionaire, go ahead, build your own store. Pay for your own marketing. Pay for it. Most of us promote through social media. The game has changed in a few years. Before, this shit didn't exist. There was no Twitters, no Instagrams, no Facebooks. When I started doing magazine, none of this stuff was here. We didn't have none of this. When I was on 42nd, when Facebook started, it was the college shit. It was the site. You couldn't join Facebook unless you acted like you was a student somewhere. I remember it. But understand, man, none of this shit is this shit is not a game. It's war. It's nobody's your friend. It's not personal. And business is gangster. Friend of mine, I helped him put a magazine out. He's getting his shit out. Consignment. Few guys ain't want to pay him. This is my guy. He had to give the magazine to me to give to people because they're not gonna pay me. Soon as I walk in, oh, hey, my friend. When I walk to a newsstand, when I walk into a store that sells it, hey, my friend, hey, buy the magazine. So another thing is relationships. It's relationships, just like the streets. What's up, Carlton? Just like the streets, man. You can't move the brick. You can't just walk into the Connect. You might get shot. So understand that when it comes to this business thing, man, I think a lot of people who've never done this type of thing. So, I'm on Facebook and different platforms, and I'm watching people criticize business people, the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, the this ones, the that ones. And it makes my head hurt that people are in a discussion or a conversation that a lot of people don't know nothing about because they never done it. They never done it. What's going on? What's going on? They never done it. They never had to do it. And I'm not saying this to disrespect anybody's intelligence or anything like that. It's understand, like when you've done it, it's like when Pimp C called out Young Jeezy for messing up the numbers on the brick. Shout out to Al Nazon. Now I'm gonna tell you, Al Nazon, this is my guy. This is my guy. He was there with the stack of magazines up against the wall, or the magazine boxes, right? Al, you was there. You was there. He knows. All that shit is a grind, man. All that shit is a grind. So I want you guys to understand that. And I was talking to my man Mike Black, and I was trying to make him understand what I'm talking about tonight is if someone is dealing with particular people in business, they're necessary for a specific purpose. If someone is not necessary, they go. They go. Because it's business. He's not dealing with these people because he wants to. They are necessary. They're necessary. So it kind of bugs me out when I see people criticizing millionaires for their business decisions. Billionaires for their business decisions. Now, if I was Ye, I wouldn't have said shit. I'd be like, you know what? Hey, the motherfucker's doing. I give Ye all the credit in the world for speaking his mind. I would have been quiet as a motherfucker. I'll tell you the truth. Said, to be fair, some of these people are worthy of criticism. It just depends on what's being criticized. Hey, look, Understood? I put it to you this way. The only time you can criticize somebody is when they do some shit that didn't work. Jay-Z put out an album that was released on Samsung phones. He went platinum, right? Before the album dropped. And dudes talked shit. They talked shit on that. It's like this man just went platinum before the release date. How do you lose? And they were mad at that. You understand what I'm saying? What's the criticism? Now tomorrow, I got a video called "We Got a Weed Problem." Oh yeah, tomorrow's Saturday night. We doing Saturday Night Live still. And we got a weed problem. Black people, we got a black people problem. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But I just, this ain't gonna be long. This is Friday night. I ain't gonna hold y'all hostage. We an hour in. So this is what I'm gonna do. Real briefly, I'm gonna drop this link. I don't know who wants to jump in here and make a comment or two, but just understand. I want people to understand that if you haven't done this before, because it's business, is some of it is what you learn in business school, and a lot of it ain't. I don't like, for me, like, especially doing business the way that I've done business, it's a lot of like taking people to court. Like people like, oh, you need to get people on the contract. Yeah, nobody got time for court. Nobody got time to take nobody to court. I'd rather come to your office. I've never done business with somebody whose office I couldn't walk into. You understand what I'm saying? I've never done business with nobody who I couldn't run up on, pull up on, whatever. What's good, bro?
What's good, Marcus Aurelius?
Right. What's popping?
Man, I'm just enjoying it all, man. I'm telling you, I'm just enjoying it all. The grind, the come up, just everything all over. But to I guess tap into what you're speaking on right now. I just see it as Kanye's really just trying to start over. He's trying to become more so what I said in the chat, the unconquered Negro. Just have everything by his own roots, have his own seeds, and let it germinate and grow without the ties of the media and everybody else holding him down or attaching him down. So in a way, he has to kind of like break ties and burn everything down. Like the man said he lost $2 billion in a day. He's still saying, I'm still happy. I'm still up. It just shows you that, like, no matter what they try to take or say about this man, he's still moving forward. And I think that's a powerful aspect of it. Like, he's not crying. He's not. Everyone else is more worried about his money than he is. So what's the point of everyone making all this noise? Let the man execute whatever he has to execute. If he doesn't have anything to really execute, then let him just do him, regardless. But we just love to talk about stuff that we don't understand. I'm on the macro level, on the micro level, and it's just like, as you said earlier, like, people don't understand business. A lot of 80% or 90% of people are just going to be 9-to-5 workers for the rest of their life. Only the select few will ever be bosses, man. And that's what it is.
This is all true. One thing I will say on as far as the Kanye situation, ultimately, like, we're gonna see what his ultimate goal is. I can only speculate as to what this man's plan is business wise. Like, as far as his personal views and everything that he said on Drink Champs, I think that all of those things are real. I think they're two separate conversations, though. Like, what he said on Drink Champs is one thing, and his rise to, where he was in the sneaker game or whatever is a different conversation. I think that, when it comes down to, what the conversation that him and Sway had back then, and, people calling him crazy then, and, just his rise to building the brand up to where it is now, to the point where I don't think that, outside of an athlete, right? we've never seen a rapper build a sneaker brand to the point where you got lines down the block and around the corner. If it wasn't LeBron, if it wasn't Jordan, if it wasn't one of these people, and even those people, they're just names on a shoe. Jordan doesn't design J's. LeBron doesn't design the bronze, and they don't own the brand. They're just somebody who has an endorsement deal. And Kanye is not an endorsement deal. He is the brand. And that's the difference. You know, you look at the percentages, and I look these up. Jordan makes what, 5% on the brand, and he owns less than 1% of the brand, and Ye owns 100%. And there's something to be said for that. We can sit here and say, you know, who he didn't need and this, that, and the other, but he got to that point. If you look at it, like, he had to make, you know, billions to fuck up billions. Exactly. Right? And not many of us will be able to say that we fucked up those type of commas. You know, they didn't fuck up the commas. Oh, he fucked up some commas, right? So, you know, do I think that was a bad business move? But I don't think that it was business for him. Like, I don't think that him getting on Drink Champs and saying what he's saying was, like, for him, I guess whatever he's feeling is not business. Or here's another speculation. It could be what you said. Hey, man, I just want to get out of these pieces of paper. I'm going to say this, get out of these pieces of paper. It's all speculation. It'll unravel and unfold as we're watching this thing happen. But, you know, specifically tonight, I just watched over the years people say this, that, whether it be Charlamagne the God, Sway, this one, that one, criticize Kanye as he rose to the point where he is now. And it's like, at this point, it's really undeniable that this man did it right, because none of those names mentioned previously got to that point, including the Jordans, the bronze, and this ones and that ones, at least not off, you know, footwear. And you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so
just to add in, Jay-Z could never pull off what Kanye pulled off, because Jay-Z knows that his money is intertwined with those communities. LeBron's money is intertwined with those communities. Charlamagne the God is bought by that community. They sign his checks, whether it's his TV show, whether it's Breakfast Club, they sign his checks. Ye signs his own checks. That's the power of this situation. Regardless of what he wants to do, he controls his own outcome. And that's just something that more people got to understand, regardless of whether he goes up or goes down. He already went down. When he was in that Sway interview, he was already down $100 million. And he was in debt. He got with Kim K, came right back up. So he understands this seesaw effect, or this roller coaster of a ride, and he knows he'll be back up. You can parallel it to Elon Musk. Elon Musk was super up after he had PayPal sold, and he went literally right back down to get Tesla, and went right back up, got the solar company too. So these men understand what risk is, calculated risk is, and they're willing to bet their livelihood and their finances to get or envision or create their vision and bring it to fruition. And a lot of people won't ever understand that, because we too worried about just the dollars off rip. Go ahead.
The other part of it is, I you know, and I say this about business, and then I'm gonna have Chaos chime in. I understand that a black man at that level of corporate, existing in that space, and, you know, shout out to Dr. Ron O'Neill, right? Because he said something to this effect. Understand, right? When you in the hood and you in the streets, you know, it's different. Like, you know, that's the space you belong in. When you're in corporate, you're a black man in corporate. There's very few people that look like you, especially, you know, the higher you go, and they're speaking a language that exists with no black men in the room. I don't think that a lot of black men really, I want to say have the heart, but I also say have the stomach to exist in those spaces high up in corporate with these people. And this is, you bump into a lot of old money. You bump into a lot of, like, you know, when you talk about your upper hundreds of millions, or you bump into that billionaire space and you're in that space of those people, that's a lot of old money. That's a lot of people that are like, how the fuck did you get in the room? What are you doing here? And they talk crazy in a way that they don't care you're there. They don't care you're there. They tilt their nose up at you. To them, you know, like, you're beneath them. For those who live long enough, we talking about Randolph and Mortimer Duke type shit. You know, we know what you know what these people think of you. And the only reason that you're in the room is because you got something valuable for them to make money with.
That's business.
And that's business. You wouldn't be there if not. They wouldn't look at you. They wouldn't piss on you to put you out if you was on fire. And this is the type of people you got to do business with. And I'm sure Ye, on his rise, he has come into contact with these people. Adidas is a German company. Come on, Germany. Come on, man. At the end of the day, man, it takes a certain type of personality to exist in these spaces long enough to get to that point, to that level, and win. And understand, yo, this ain't friendship. We ain't buddies. We not none of that. The only reason we're looking at each other is because I can make you some bread, or you got some bread that to invest in this, and you know that this is hot. This is gonna get you a return. And that's business. Business is cold. Business ain't your friend. Business don't give a flying motherfucker. Chaos, what's up? Chaos, yes sir.
All right. In regards to the business side, is this only focused on the magazine side or just in general? I know I caught in a certain point during the stream.
I'm talking about business, straight business, bro.
General, just in general. Okay.
In general, business, street business, corporate business, all business. Business is business. EPMD. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? EPMD, okay. Man. Business is business, strictly business. Business, never personal.
Okay. I remember there was a video that Dame Dash was had to bump into a room with a bunch of people, and they were doing certain business without certain input of certain black folks, and it lets you know how they think and view you, or it's like another game they're playing. Because let's say you're the smartest man in the room, or you know that you don't want to be swingle if you have your own, how I say, clientele, and they want to do business without you. And you always have to keep your eyes and attention up, because they will play you in certain ways, because they don't think of you or even think that you should be up in this position where they're at. And generally, because usually when they look at business, they say, we the people, and you're just here, just workers, you know. And I think a lot of men don't really see that you know, if you're gonna play this business game, especially if you're gonna be dealing with somebody or have to work with these people, you have to play very smart, and maybe have to play keeps. I mean, especially working in this Western region where we're just a minority and they're the majority.
See, I think black people are used to moving moral. So like in our spaces, right? Where you want to talk about the streets or whatever, you know, we don't believe in snitching. We don't believe in, you know, stealing. We don't, it's a lot of things that you can't do on the street because they'll kill you, right? Mm-hmm. They'll kill you straight up. Like, you know, you violate code of the streets. Code of the streets is based on like a standard of morality. And there's things that you people do in corporate business that you can't do on the streets, or they'll kill you. You understand? And I think that when a lot of us black people, we look at certain things that happen in business and we say, that's wrong. They shouldn't do that. Understand that in business, the only thing that's wrong is what violates the contract. And even
Bingo.
to some extent, not even that, because how about this? If you breach the contract, right?
Yeah.
The person that you're violating, the contract, the agreement that you're violating, the person who you're violating has to be in a position to enforce the contract.
Or you mean consequence, in other words.
Right. So in other words, look, if you violate somebody, they ain't got money to sue you, the contract means nothing. If the lawyers ain't good, they can't afford a good lawyer to enforce the contract. It means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like on the street. If I take your bricks, you ain't got no guns, you ain't got you ain't got nothing to enforce me to pay you. It means nothing. And you can say, well, that's wrong. He took my bricks and he ain't pay me. So what? So what? That's the bully. The bully got the guns. I took your bread. What are you going to do about it? You can't do anything about it but complain about how wrong I am. In business, you could sue somebody, but you got to you got to have it. Now, a lawyer could see the case, say, you know what? This looks worthwhile. There's enough money in this case. But then now you got to negotiate with him how much money out the settlement or the judgment he's gonna get versus what you're gonna take home is just so much, right? Mm-hmm. That's why, I might do a contract. I tell people, I say, listen, if we do a contract, it's only so that me and you understand what our agreement was, but it ain't for me to take you to court. I tell people that straight up. It ain't for me to take you to court. We're not going to see a judge. I'm going to pull up and you're going to honor the agreement. Straight up. That's how it's always been with me in any business that I've been in. I ain't got time to tell some other man, hey, he didn't honor the agreement. No, the issue is between me and you. Now, if you want to call somebody to protect you from me for violating this agreement, then you do that. But until then, what's mine, I'm coming for. What is it? PK? What's going on?
Wait, somebody in the chat room asked a very important question.
Well, hold on, Chaos. I think you caught on me, bro. Hold on.
Okay.
What's going on, bro? I don't know if you had caught the second comment that I left for you.
Which one?
The one where I told you what I was referring to specifically.
Okay. Is this one here?
Yeah, that one.
Now, in regards to business, is what I'm referring to, unless you are on equal footing or in business yourself / have experience with business. So elaborate on that real quick. And then I want to, Chaos, you give me a second. I'll get right to you. I want PK to elaborate on that comment that he made. Go ahead, bro.
So the point that I was referring to in this instance with Kanye, or in regards to anyone who, is successful or has had success in business, if a person is making any sort of recommendations or any sort of what would you call it, criticisms towards said person, a lot of times what I don't know, because I'm not on any social media, but generally when I'm in public, what I hear is mostly in regards to them as people, or in regards to their decision-making capacity, or in reference to things that they've said. Not necessarily, their business, their business dealings. Like, that isn't what I generally hear. Now, what goes on the internet, that's a whole nother can of worms. I don't know what's going on these, internet streets outside of YouTube. But I mean, I don't see any issue with criticisms in regards to any of the things that I just mentioned. The only issue is when you're talking about, when it comes down to business, I do agree with you. You need to have some sort of expertise on the subject, man. If you're just talking out of your ass, you ain't got no place in the room when you're talking to a person who has done something, you know, you really ain't got nothing to say. And if you do have something to say, you're just making an ass out of yourself. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I
So
agree
just
with you there.
right. Just so you understand, like the reason I did this separate video, because I did a video last week where I touched on this, but I wanted to do this video, and that's why I'm doing it on a Friday. So I don't do 2 Saturday videos back to back on this topic. I wanted to focus in on just the business aspect of it because, yeah, there are people on all platforms of social media criticizing. And even before social media, we get into this conversation. I mean, how many people in the chat have heard, you know, regular folks having opinions, negative opinions on, yo, if I was such and such, I would have did that. What made him do that? And this and that. And I'm talking about business. I ain't talking about their personal lives or anything like that. I mean, you know, because the title of this is Let's Talk Business, you know, questioning their business, you know, savvy or their business sense, or, you know, why would he do this, or why would he do this without those people, or why did he take this deal, or why did he do that, and this and that and the other. And these are people that are continually rising in terms of net worth and in terms of you know, assets and things like that. But according to, you know, your guy that's sitting there at the crib, they doing it wrong. And you know, I know that what I just said, that you just said you agree, but that's what I'm really talking about. Everything else, I mean, there are parts of a person's life that, while being successful in business, is open to criticism outside of the business conversation. You know what I mean? I don't make the argument that because somebody's successful in business, that there are in other aspects of their life that
A fucking
we
clown. You
right,
know?
like
So
we can't,
yeah,
I
I
can't
feel you.
speak on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, I'm not saying that, but you know, this conversation is mostly about the different things that have come across, you know, my consciousness about not just Ye, but just business people in general. You know, I've had people tell me what I need to do in terms of business and this and that and the other, and they've never started a business or never attempted to embark on anything. Everybody has an opinion or advice to give you on shit that they've never done in their life. You understand what I'm saying? And so
Yes, sir.
that's pretty much what I'm talking about. And they don't, you know, you could tell who has done what and who has, you know, stood in certain rooms and in certain spaces based on what they say and they lack of knowledge, because there's nuances to everything. There's nuances to everything that you have to do it to know. You have to do it to know things that you're not going to learn in business school. You know, there's parts of being a car mechanic that you're not going to learn in school. You're going to have to learn that doing the thing. You understand what I'm saying? So like when I hear people say these things, it's like what I'm hearing is it's like an idea, like that doesn't exist in real space. So this is how business should run as opposed to how it actually does run, because people forget the human element. They forget people.
Well,
So
it's like
how
if
right,
you don't mind, I'm gonna say it's like the difference in between an opinion, your education, and experience.
right,
And opinion, you know, could be highly uninformed. You know, education, you might have an idea, but it might not be true. Experience, you know, is what you see out in the real world. You know, and you gotta have two. You know, the experience and the education to be able to form a very, you know, clear truth on a subject, right? So I get where you're coming from, and I agree with that, man. Yeah, so 100%, 100%, you're dead on.
chaos. You was gonna say something about comment in the chat. What was that about?
No, a person asked a question. Let me see what the question was asked. It was asked, does the panel believe we are moving into a time where how you make your money matters as much as more than what you do with it? That's
So
by
who said that? Who said
Inspiring
this?
Matriarch JPAM.
How far back is that? Let me see. Okay, I see it. So does the panel Hey, how you doing? JP, the aspiring matriarch. Does the panel believe? Hey, JP, if you're not sub to the channel, please sub because I've never seen your face before. So yeah,
Have you
it
put on
means
subscriber mode on?
yeah, you know what? It is subscriber mode. So yeah, that means she subscribed. Appreciate that sub. So does the panel believe we're moving into a time where how you make your money matters as much or more than what you do with it? Mm, mm.
I
Very
don't
good
even
question.
understand the question.
I'll answer this because I gotta soon start my thing. What I'm doing. It matters depending on what you're trying to do with it. Personally, everybody makes their money in their own ways, and in this society, like Kaya said, that eventually, if you want to climb up higher, you might have to sell out, unless you have a good supporting cast to not really sell out. But since we're the small population, I mean, the temptation is real. I mean, I respect what Yeezy's doing right now. A lot of people think they take a step back because of what he's saying, but I get the frustration overall, you know. And I think what he's doing now, personally, Keep 100, I think he's dissed himself intentionally for not only a bigger distraction, but I think he has something in stores. And let's be honest, when they talk about billionaires and how he lost a billion because he got cut out, we don't know how much this dude or how he really makes his money. So I want people to really stop the cap, personally, in my opinion.
So I want to attempt to answer this question. She says, are we moving into a time where how you make your money matters as much or more than what you do with it? Me personally, I never liked the idea of like I'm a believer that money doesn't care where it comes from,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, I think that for me, what you do with your money is more important than how you get it. That's now I don't know if that's a collective belief, right? Because I think what she's asking said, do we believe that we're moving into a time where? So I'm thinking she's asking, is that a collective belief? I don't know. I think too many.
Oh, I
I'll
see.
say this. I think too many people care how people make their money. Actually, I feel like if you out here getting paper and nobody's bleeding behind it, it shouldn't be a problem. But I do think that what you do with your money matters more than how you get it because let me see, way more important than what you do with it. Yeah, what you do with it. What you do with your money, and that was what is it? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I want to say Shinobi, but yeah, what you do with your money for me is more important. There are people that have worked regular 9 to 5 jobs and took their money and invested it wisely and became millionaires behind it without working a high paying job. What you do for me, what you doing with your money is more important than how you get it. You can get money driving Lyft, but if you do smart things with that money, then I think that's more important because you can have a high paying job and blow every bit of money that you get coming in, and it'll mean less than the regular person or the ride share person or this person, that person that's making smart moves with their money. But JP, she says yes, as a collective. I think that as a collective, I think that people care too much about how people make their money as opposed to what they do with it. That's just my opinion.
Can I take a swing at this?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. I think the answer to both of those questions is yes, and then yes. Now, not only do people care about how you make your money, people care about what you do with it collectively on a societal level. That just is what it is. You ain't gotta like it. I mean, ultimately, you know, no matter where you move in society, you're gonna have people that care about how you spend your money and how you accumulate it. Because obviously we have a hierarchy in this society, and in most societies there's a hierarchical system. that essentially accounts for how you produce that wealth in some way, shape, or form, unless you somehow live on an island, like Jeffrey Epstein, doing some illicit stuff, right? So, I mean, in most cases, that just is going to be the case, unless you can somehow make the society even. But as we all know, this ain't an equal society. So this is a trapping of living in a society. You can't escape that. I mean, for instance, we have double standards when it comes to women and how they, accrue money, for instance, in sex work I don't even know if I can say, can I say that? I can
Yeah.
say that, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Or in some other illicit means, the same can be said for men, for things that are unsavory, like you said earlier, anything that got blood on your hands, right? So it's going to be, it's different things for the sexes. There are reasons for it. And I mean, some of the money that we have, even in circulation, like, Kanye just found out, you say certain things about how certain people amass their wealth and their status, and not even just them, right? This applies to many groups. So it's a lot of reasons, and people are gonna care about it. There's no way to get away from it, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depends on how you see it. So that's my take.
Can I chime in real quick?
Yes, sir.
So for both questions, I'd say yes, and I'll give like my personal anecdote. So I recently graduated college about last year, and then I got into the cybersecurity field. And immediately when I would like say go out and dating or anything like that, and I would tell someone, "Oh, I'm a cybersecurity engineer," their eyes would just pop like, "Oh wow!" Like they already like can put the dollar signs behind exactly what I'm doing, and then their approach to me would be somewhat, more so, okay, he got money. Let's, what I'm saying, see how we can get it off of him. But without them knowing this, I'm one of the youngest passport bros ever. Like I've been in Nigeria like at 23, 24, and when we over there, we having a real, real, real good time. So I'm not really too even interested in the aspect of mingling or commingling with stuff in the US. I'm just saving this bread, stacking it, investing it. And when it's time to go over there and, settle down, I'll settle down. But I'll still have that avenue to come back and forth as I wish. So I definitely believe how I get my money is important, because I don't want to just be an engineer forever. I want to definitely own my own business, have some real estate, expand my portfolio and go from there. And also I want to be able to spend it properly. And the thing about passport bros, they're not telling you is that 50,000 or 70,000 that you're making here, you take that to these overseas countries and you're literally a millionaire in their currency.
Right.
So
Right.
now I'm going from, okay, so I'm
If
not even
you
that,
make over 40, is you still make more, because I think out 100 and almost close to 200 countries, and I did a currency convert. It goes a long way. So
yeah.
Yeah, but let me ask you this though, bro. If and this is just sanity I'm asking, because you said how you make your money is important. If you're making that same dollar amount another way, does it matter?
Well, I'd say it mattered because I'm going about the legal way. Like,
No, but we talking about. That's why I said nobody bleeds. So what I'm saying is, assuming that everything we're talking about is legal, because there's people that won't rock with you or that look at you funny if you make 100,000 driving Uber as opposed to making 100,000 doing electrical. But it's the same money. But people will judge you based on how you got that money. When you go to a restaurant and order your steak, nobody says, is this Uber money or is this electrician money? And if it's Uber money, we don't take Uber dollars. Nobody says that, right? So that's what I mean when I say that, like we assuming that it's all legal. And then I want to address JP again with this question here, and then I want to address Jamfar,
so,
below. But go ahead. Yeah, so that's what I mean, assuming that
yeah.
it's all legal.
So in the context of shopping or using that dollar in the capitalist society, I guess it won't matter. But in the terms of dating or hierarchy, I think it kind of does so, because if I'm trying to date the young lady and she introduced me to her parents and they say I tell her I'm an Uber driver, that's going to have some sort of a negative connotation compared to if I tell her, okay, I'm an engineer.
Do you care
Regardless,
about that?
yeah, I'm saying regardless, the money would be the same. If we're saying the money would be the same, it's just, it goes back to when Kevin Samuel was talking about it. A real reason that the white collar brothers get the love first, blue collar brothers get shit on, even though the money's basically the same. It's
But
just
that's superficial, ain't it?
of course, of course.
So that's why I said earlier, I said I think people care too much because it's superficial. You understand? So I you're right that people do care, but the question was, are we in this space where people are looking at it that way? I say I think they care too much. I don't care what a woman's parents think about where my 100 grand comes from. If I'm making 100 grand, like, it's 100 grand. It's the 6 figures that they say makes you high value, right?
Facts.
It doesn't matter how it gets here. Oh, he's just an Uber driver, right? Assuming that a guy's an Uber driver. You're an Uber driver, you make 100 grand.
Can I give you an example of where the very statement you just made actually is relevant? And you may not believe it to be, but it is.
No, I said it shouldn't be. I'm not saying that it's not.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah, so I said I think people care too much. I'm not saying that they don't care. I'm saying they do. I'm saying that they shouldn't. You understand what I mean? So
that ain't gonna change. That's never gonna change ever.
Hey man, at the end of the day, look, like my man said, he a passport, bro. In them countries that he might go to, they don't care where that 100 grand came from. That 100 grand that flips into that million, they don't care where it came from. They don't care if you turn big rocks into little rocks. It's 100 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these comments. So JP says, if being canceled is his crime, how much time does he do before the community takes him back? And my question to her before I answer that question is, which community are we talking about? Are we talking about our community? Because our community ain't cancel him, right? Our community didn't cancel Kanye West, right? So the next comment I want to address is oh no, not this one. He says, where's his other comment? He says something about, people. Okay, he said black people want to combine morality and business. The two don't mix. That's a fact. And Janfar says lifestyle creep is real and eats up finances. This is also a fact. I got to read another comment from Janfar. Nobody is judging how you get money except for women, or if you get money from being unmanned on your knees and hands. I got you. Yeah, that's everybody got to draw a line somewhere. But like, again, like you said, it's when it comes to that sort of thing, I mean, we speak about that sort of thing all the time. I don't think that anybody here or most of the guys here care about a woman's opinion or her man's opinion on where their money comes from, as long as they're getting bread and the bread is enough to support the lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think women care at all where the money comes from. I think that's mostly a gender thing for the most part.
Right. Shane, what's good, man?
What's going on?
It's my guy. What's popping?
Oh man, every time you do a show, you know what I'm doing?
Running business.
I'm out making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Every time, man, it's like I'm like, damn, man, I want to join, but I'm focused.
Yeah, you know
so,
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shane out here buying houses and building cars and things like that. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, man. I think really when it comes to success, you got to know your purpose, and that takes time to figure out. Once you get on that and you start hitting your stride, you can kind of just kind of rest on your laurels and cruise a little while, but know that you can't stop, because a shark that doesn't swim drowns.
Right. I want black folks to move into a space where not only do we understand money better, that we also understand that the laws of business are not the laws of the street. Especially when, and I'm not just talking about how when we do business with each other, but when we go outside of the community, because the higher up in business you go, the more removed from the community you'll end up being. And the problem with that is when we see somebody rise in business, and I'm gonna address a lot of this tomorrow in We Got a We Problem. So right after we get off of this, I'm gonna put up the notification for We Got a We Problem. If you're not subscribed to the channel, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We Got a We Problem is this idea that black men with money are evil. Are evil.
That's
We
just
have
envy
this.
talk.
Come on, man. Listen, it's deeper than that, because in other communities, they don't have this issue. You envy is a human thing. So if it's just envy, then every community should hate the winners. But we seem to hate our winners, and I don't want to go into that tonight, but tonight when we're talking about business, I want people to understand that there's a language, there's a way of moving. In business, there's no love, there's a lot of the times there's no honor. There's no honor, there's no street code, there's no, oh, you don't. I mean, we've been at jobs where the guy who's trying to get the promotion, he's telling on everybody, he's kissing up to the boss. That is corporate job etiquette. That is how that works. It's not like streets. It's not like our neighborhoods and our culture and our understandings of where. Who did we lose just now? Who dropped out? Oh, that was PK. Shout out to PK. PK, thanks for jumping in here, bro. But yeah, man, I think that we get that twisted. And not only that, we underestimate how difficult it is to be black and rise up in these environments. And I think that anytime we see it, it should be seen as remarkable. It is remarkable for black men, right, to ascend in these spaces. And when black women, when you hear me say that, I don't want you to, especially as black women in the chat, not to say that it's not remarkable for black women to rise up. Just understand that you are not viewed as the same threat that we are. Because among men, right, when it comes to power, men do not want to share power with each other. Okay, because we know that, at the end of the day, when it comes to, giving another man power, you probably got a bunch of people looking at Ye like, see what happens, man, when we let one of these guys come up here. When we let one of these guys in here, man, you see what happens. They're probably looking at Ye as a cautionary tale of what happens when you let one man get all that power. You understand? So that's why you probably can count the amount of black billionaires on one hand. I don't know how many black billionaires in the world, and I'm talking about
There ain't that many.
Ain't that
There was
many?
a black billionaire. There was a black billionaire that actually. There was a black billionaire that was paying off people's tuition, and black folks was shitting on that man because of what he does for a living.
Right.
No, actually, it was the women that was shitting because he has a non-black mate. No black person was really shitting on him because he pay off 40 wherever million of the black collegians student debt. That was not the issue. But I'll say this. I gotta jump down. There are more billionaires in Africa than here in the West Coast. In the West. Sorry, in the West. So obviously, when we look at the amount of them to us, It's no comparison because, like I said, it's industries, there's certain networking, and there's a certain togetherness. That's what he's been pushing constantly. That say, as much as you have beef with somebody, you still able to do business. Something we could learn. But anyway, I got jumped off. I got some content to do. See y'all there.
All right, later, man.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of what he was saying about the whole togetherness thing. I think the biggest reason why a lot of black people have a problem, or the weed problem, like you put it, is because
make that brief because I want to save that for tomorrow. But go ahead.
All right, yeah, there's we're averse to developing relationship skills, and what I mean by relationship skills is the ability to work with other people in synergy. You know what I mean? It's like, like you hear it all the time with black women, I did it all by myself, and the thing is, it's like, okay, that's great, but the reality is you're struggling. You're not reaching the highest height you can possibly touch if you don't work with somebody else. And that's what interdependence is. Interdependence works in all aspects of life if you're really trying to go far, not just relationships, but definitely business. Nobody becomes a billionaire by themselves.
Yeah,
you got to have a network.
Yeah, it's see, this is the thing, right? Most black men, or most men, period. Most men who become billionaires, they become billionaires by selling off what it is that they own, right? And like you start off, you own the whole thing. You heard the phrase, 50% of nothing is better. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing, right? Or 30% of something is better than 100% of nothing. 20% of something is better than 100% of nothing, right? You rarely get to a point where you're in the billions and you own the whole thing. We all watch Shark Tank, right? In order for them people that come on there to take their business to the next level, they might be doing some numbers and this and that, but they got to go to the next level. They got to come see the sharks. And the sharks will say, look, we're going to give you this amount. We want this percentage. They evaluate the company and they say, hey, this is what you're worth. This is what I'm offering. And I want this piece. And, not only are they offering the money, but they're offering not only their relationships. It's like you come to me, you got a magazine, I know who to go to. You don't know who to go to. When I walk in the room, they know who I am. What you got, Marcus? You got something new? Yeah, I got this. And if you walk in there by yourself, either they won't deal with you or you're going to get robbed. So what these people, the Damon Johns and the Kevin O'Leary's and the, I forgot the dude from the Mavericks. Somebody will type it in. But when these guys come to the table and they give you their money, they don't just give you their money. They're walking in the room representing you. And those people that they walk in the room to are going to deal with your business like it's that person's business, right? Yeah, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban
they're taking a risk.
Right. They're taking a risk. That's not really a risk for them, though, because at the end of the day, if Mark Cuban walk in, let's say you start something, a business that nobody's ever heard of, Mark Cuban buys a piece of your business. Now they're going to treat that business like it's his. You ain't nobody, but you just bought him in, and now he's going to represent your brand as if it's his, and they got to treat it like it belongs to him because he's invested, right? So that's what you're paying for. That's what you give up your percentage for. So understand this. Again, I'll say it again, and I can't emphasize this. It's remarkable that someone like a Ye, and I don't want to really make this whole conversation about Ye, but it's based off somebody like Ye to get to the point that he's gotten to and still own damn near 100%. I mean, he might as well owns 100%. He gave 5% to his wife. For him to get that to this point, still owning the whole thing, he owns the brand. He didn't have to sell any off. I wonder what kind of deals, what kind of conversations happened in the background that we weren't there for, where this man was able to say, nah, no, you can't have 10, you can't have 20, 30, 40, 50% of Yeezy. It's mine. And if you want it, I'll give you, we can break bread. We could break bread, but you can't have a piece. That is some shark shit, bro. And I don't care what nobody say about his mental state. That alone is impressive to me, that this man made a $1 billion deal without selling off a percentage of the brand. That is incredible. I don't care what nobody says. And this ain't about nothing else that got to do with Kanye West. This is strictly from a business context. That is incredible. It's impressive. It's fucking remarkable. And you'll probably never see nothing like that again. So he says, DOS says, Yeezy is not owned by Adidas. No. At this point, all they can do is they own the designs, and all they can do is continue to drop the actual sneakers without his name on it. And that's what they plan to do. They plan to drop Yeezy looking sneakers without the Yeezy name. The brand is his. Yo, a few more y'all need to watch that Drake Champs interview, because he says all of these things in the interview. He owns the Yeezy trademark. He owns it. It's his. It belongs to him. 100%. 95, because he said 5% belongs to Kim Kardashian. So it's in the family. So I don't care. It's 100%. That is a remarkable thing. That is a remarkable thing. I don't think so. Adidas is a wrap as far as those sales. Ye can take that name and put it on anything else, and it belongs to him. My man said Kanye is the Black Forrest Gump. He just has all these adventures. That is funny as shit. And I don't want to laugh because I'll cough. I got a cough. But that is a true statement. I can't argue. He said he's the Black Forrest Gump. Said Whitlock had Royce White on. Blew my mind. They going after him because the bread they let him have was not fit to fill stadiums with the mass gospel choir evangelizing a godly world view. But yeah, man, we gonna wrap this up, man, because we coming close to 2 hours. But that alone, and I'm talking about business, as much guys as we give credit for being businessmen. You want to talk about Master P, you want to talk about 50 Cent, you want to talk about Puffy, you want to talk about Dre, you want to talk about anybody that we say, wow, they're a dope businessman. You got to give Ye credit for getting this far, owning 100%. It's unheard of. So DOS says, respectfully, Marcus, you wrong. He said, I wish I was free to talk on these YouTube streets. Too bad I'm a corporate dude. Peace. So maybe you know something I don't know, but I'm going to tell you this. What I just said is a fact. I think that it's a remarkable thing. He said, respectfully, Marcus, you wrong. So I guess he's saying that Ye don't own 100%. Nobody's come forward to say that he doesn't, because Adidas doesn't own it. They got to release sneakers. And I got the clipping that said they plan to release products. They plan to release products without the Yeezy name on it because they don't own it. They said it. So if that's the part that I'm wrong about, DOS, you wrong. They don't own the Yeezy trademark. They don't. Because if they did, they'd be able to continue to drop Yeezys with the name Yeezy on it. Okay? Right? He said, correct. Adidas got Ye in a 360. All right. Well, like I said, we'll see. But I just understand that Adidas has put out there. Anybody can Google it. that they plan to drop the designs. They own the designs. They don't own the name. So, no doubt he said, let me get out of here. I love you, bro. Yeah, we all going to get out of here, DOS. But either way, we about to bounce up out of here, man. This was a Friday night. Tomorrow is Saturday Night Live. Keep it 100. If you commented, that means you a sub. You know, got love for everybody. You know, disagree, agree. It doesn't matter. Disagreement is not hate. It's not anti. Okay? So I ain't anti y'all. Y'all ain't anti Marcus. We gonna rock. We gonna rock tomorrow. We got a weed problem, and we gonna talk about that tomorrow. Yo, Shane, thanks for jumping on. You got any final thoughts? Any concise final thoughts before we rock up out of here?
No, I said what I needed to say. It wasn't much. I was pretty concise tonight.
Okay, and before I go, let me say, Shin Jedi Nobi. Just so you know, I know how to pronounce your name, man. All right, Aaron, we out of here. Yo, Lucy, see y'all tomorrow. Maul, see you tomorrow. Everybody, see you tomorrow, man. Shout out to everybody, Red Lion, everybody that commented, jumped up on the panel and all of that. All right.
Peace.
100. Peace.